Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. My name is Janie, one of your hosts, and welcome to another episode. Today, I want to talk about doing the work. All right. And I want to break this down, of course, for balance and harmony on all levels. So, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I really want to talk about doing the work because that is why we're here. We are here to do the work to become the best and highest version of ourselves, all right? To grow and evolve in consciousness. So, in order to do that, we have to put some work in. So, that was something that I heard a few years ago, and and once I heard it, it shifted me. It shifted my life, and I understood that I was in control. Sometimes we want to blame others. And I'm not saying everything that happens in your life, you are solely to blame, but some part of that was your doing. Okay. So what I heard was this sentence. Everything in my life, I have either created it, I invited it, or I allowed it. All right. And when we really take responsibility and ownership of that sentence, our world shifts because we know that every single thing that is occurring in our life, we have either created it, we invited it in our life, or we allowed it. Okay. So even some of the things that you would never do or you feel like was not something of your doing, you might have allowed it in your life. You might have allowed other people to do it. All right. Whatever it could be, you allowed it. However, when we take full responsibility that we actually allowed it, that we created it, or we invited it, we get to learn our lessons from it. Okay. And this is not about shifting blame. When other people do something that they're responsible for, it is not about saying, hey, taking on that responsibility, but taking on somebody else's responsibility, but it is about taking on your responsibility that in some way, shape, or form, we have either created it in our life, we invited it in our life, or we allowed it in our life. All right. And taking full responsibility is about doing the work for that one sentence. So I wanna break it down, like I said, in all levels, because as we know, that is about balance. And the universe is about balance and harmony. That's why we have two poles. All right. And the poles are duality, is what they are. All right. Masculine and feminine, good and bad, dark and light, whatever you want to call it, angels and demons, whatever you want to call it. There are two opposite poles. The point is balancing it. All right. We can't change what people are or what energy is. Okay. We can't change the energy that's operating, but you do this thing called a dance. And the dance is about balancing it. All right. And that's how you become a master of your own energy. Because you understand that you can only take responsibility for what you created in your life, what you allowed in your life, or what you invited in your life. All right. So, and that's how you master it, and master this dance of energy of everything that we're surrounded by. Okay. And to be honest, we can't get out of here without doing the work. All right. You may think that you could, and the thing is, you have free will to do the work or to not do the work. That's your free will. However, you will come back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime and pick up right where you left off, whatever lesson you were in, so that you could learn the lesson and do the work in that next lifetime. So, you know what? While we're all here, let's do the work to become better and higher versions of ourselves as a one spirit of humanity. Okay. And that's in the oneness. All right. That's in oneness. We know, as I just said, that when you come out of the oneness, you break up into separate pieces, separate energies, separate parts, separate people, separate beliefs, separate identities. That's what this whole thing is about here, okay? Is to understanding the individual parts, but understanding that there's still one There's a oneness, one spirit here, okay? So let's break it down into just a few things, and this is going to be a short podcast, and how we can do the work in those different layers in mind, in emotions, in body, and in spirit, all right? So in mind, is your mindset is everything, because it's how you are seeing the world, is how you are reacting, how you're responding, is how you're raising your children, is how you go into your job every day and doing your work. It is everything, your mindset. All right. And you got people who really have a reactive mindset where they don't actually consciously take things in. They just react and respond very quickly. Then you have the conscious mindset where before you react, you actually take it in. All right. You allow emotions to settle, or you allow the ideas to settle before you respond. So are you in a reactive mindset, or are you in a conscious mindset? And that's so important, because those two mindsets will dictate how negative or positive you think. It'll dictate so much. Like I said, our mindset is our operating system. And not only that, it is a universal natural law. And that law says that everything is mental, everything is mind. So when you have a thought, it is actually going out into this quantum field, and it's collecting all the thoughts just like it. So when you hold a thought for 17 seconds, you automatically magnetize more thoughts like it to yourself. That's why if you get into a think, like people tell me I'm a thinker. That's okay, but what are you thinking about? Because if you're thinking about something negative, like all the bad things that could go wrong, and you keep thinking those same things for only 17 seconds, you're drawing in all the other negative thoughts just like it. And then after a while, you're gonna be having this big old thought bubble that's around you about everything that could go wrong. So reactive mind or conscious mind, all right? And you have to actually stop and take some time to think about what you're thinking about. And most people don't want to do that because we're in a rush. We have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do all these things. But you have to really stop and think about the thoughts that you're thinking. All right. So please take some time to do that. Notice your thoughts. All right. Another thing to pay attention to as far as mental is, what is your daily set point? What is your daily set point? Not what you do sometimes, but what you do most times. Daily set point. Is your daily set point to wake up and be positive? This is going to be a good day. Not that I won't have challenges, but I'm going to face my challenges and I'm going to do the best that I can. Or is your daily set point negative? This day sucks. I don't even want to get out of bed. I'm going to a job that I don't like, around people I don't like, to do a job that, I don't like either. It's like, is that your daily set point? Is everything anything people tell you, do you look at the negative in it first? Or do you see the positive in it first? What is your daily set point? Because whatever that set point is, that is what you're operating in. That is your mental operating system. And like I just said, there is this quantum field that every thought goes out, and you're attracting those same thoughts to you. That's why if you have a negative set point, you're going to attract negative people to you. You're going to attract people that gossip. You're going to attract people that only have negative things to say. You're going to attract, people that's not happy in their own life, people that don't have fruit to show. You're going to attract that because you are emoting that. You are that. That is the whole point of the law of attraction. You are what you attract. All right. So know your daily set point. All right. The other thing is, don't run from your thoughts. All right. You cannot heal. You cannot reprogram. You cannot change things that you're running from. And if you are a person that is on the go all the time, and because you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts, I am referring to you, all right? Don't run from your thoughts. You have to sit there with your thoughts and figure them out, okay? The biggest thing is not to judge what you're thinking, all right? To accept it. Accept all the things that you're thinking, negative, whatever it is, you know, all of it. Accept the thoughts that you're thinking, because if you can't change what you don't accept, so accept it, but do not run from it. All right. So if you can't be alone, if you always got to be around other people, you can't stay still, you got to go to all the events just because you don't want to be alone, just because you don't want to be alone with your thoughts. I'm talking to you. Okay. So, that's mine. Mind your thoughts. Be consciously aware of what you're thinking moment by moment by moment. All right. And if you notice that you're on a streak of bad luck, oh my God, there's all these bad things or negative things, or just, you know, you just can't get a break, start paying attention to what you're thinking every day. Because I guarantee you, somehow you're attracting all of these events to you. And it's most likely at the thought level. Not even what you're saying, it's at the thought level, okay? It's at the thought level. So moving on, all right, to physical, all right? Doing the work in the physical layer, all right? This is taking care of our earth meat suit, our earth body. This is what our spirit is indwelling in. This is our earth vessel. So we should take care of it. We should love it. We should honor it. We should speak well over it as well, okay? We should feed it well. We should give it good fluids, good water, all right? So take care of your physical body, all right? Be conscious of your physical body as well. Do the work to be conscious of your physical body. If there's aches and pains, be conscious of that. Where could that be coming from, all right? So do the work. When you look at this earth vessel in the mirror, do you love it? Do you love what you see? All right. Learn to love it. Learn to accept it. Accept it just the way it is. And acceptance doesn't mean that you can't change it. You can't change the things you want to work on. Absolutely. If there's things you want to change and that's going to bring you some happiness and some peace, do that. But you have to first accept it. We cannot change anything we don't first accept. All right. And the opposite is you cannot not look at it. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore your physical body. You have to look at it. You have to look at every part of it as well. And you have to love it and accept it. All right. So that is so important. Physically doing the work. You have to move this meat suit. It is intelligence. It is literally intelligent. Every single muscle, every single bone, every single tendon, every single cell, every single atom is all connected, and it's highly intelligent. It is so intelligent that it could heal itself. It lets you know when something is not right. It gives you alarm signs. It is highly intelligent. All right. So do the work in your physical area, your physical realm, your physical body. All right. So that you could stay in balance and harmony. All right. Another thing about this physical body is be careful of what you allow it to get addicted to. All right. Substances, behaviors, patterns, habits. All right. Don't just live at the physical level, because the truth is this physical part of us is the heaviest, the densest part of us. Everything else is much lighter. Everything else is non-physical. So this is the physical part that you actually see, right? But it's giving you a physical view, but it doesn't tell the whole story, because we know that our mindset, our emotions, and our spirit is really running the show. This physical body is really just the physical part that you're seeing, all right? And everything else in those higher realms and higher layers is actually manifesting this physical part, okay? So don't allow the physical, as they say, the flesh, to get addicted to things just of the physical, all right, that makes it feel good, all right? So certain behaviors, substances, drugs, things like that don't allow addictive behavior of the physical, because it's such a basic level when you live that way, all right? When you truly live that way, when you allow addictions or addicting patterns to rule and to run. So love this physical body, all right? Look at it, adore it, accept it, work on the areas that you deem, that you need to work on, but don't allow addictions as well. All right. So I definitely wanted to mention that as far as physical. All right. Let's talk about doing the work emotionally. All right. We got to do the work in the emotional layer. All right. What are you emoting every day? All right. What are you emoting in certain situations? And does your emotions align with what you're saying and what you're doing? All right. You ever been around somebody and you ask them, hey, how's it going? And they're like, everything's good, but their body language tells you differently. The energy they're putting out is different, so we know that you're not telling the truth, even though you might lie about how you feel. So be honest about how you feel. But you can't be honest about how you feel, one, if you haven't done the work to analyze how you actually feel. Right? And this is something that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while. It takes spending time with yourself. Like I said, in the other layer, the mental, like spending time and not running from your thoughts. So you have to understand your emotions. And not only that, why do you have this emotional set point? If you're angry, if there's this underlying anger, why? Why are you angry? Okay, figure out why you are angry. Whatever it is, figure it out, work in it, accept the anger, and then work in that area to figure out why you're angry. And then you want to transmute that anger into acceptance, or the anger into a higher emotion. Okay. So you have to really, really know what you're feeling. And a lot of people don't even know what they're feeling because they haven't taken the time to even figure it out. So, and how do you express your emotions? All right. Do you communicate what you feel in a healthy way, or do you just blast off on people? Do you go off? Do you, you lose it? All right. Can you communicate and express your emotions in a healthy way? Or do you can't do that, right? Do you not have the enough words or vocabulary to even know what you're feeling? Again, it goes back to even knowing what you feel, why you feel it. All right. So that's so important. I talked about, speaking your emotions truthfully and not contradicting yourself, with your actions. So be in alignment with emotions, and don't contradict what you're feeling with what you're saying. All right. Can you transmute your emotions? All right. So if you are given enough time, if you're frustrated or if you're upset or if you are irritated, are you able to transmute that into at least a 0 point, is what I call it, where you're just at least neutral? Can you transmute that into acceptance? All right. Can you transmute that into peace at the moment? Can you transmute that into a higher emotion? And learning how to transmute is doing the work. It is doing the work. All right. And a lot of times when you're doing work in this emotional body, you're going to get tested on the spot. You're going to be, in a situation that's going to trigger your emotions. All right. And then you're going to say, either I'm going to just respond or react, or I'm going to take a minute and consciously choose to transmute this emotion that I have into something positive. And it's okay to walk away before you respond. You know, I do it a lot. I'll put it down. If it's something that came through an email or if it's something that came through a text message, I'll put it down. I'll come back to it later. Because sometimes you need things to really soak in and sit in before you choose to respond to it. Because you need to be in a, like I said, either at least a neutral place or a place of peace. All right. So can you transmute your emotions? Can you transmute lower emotions into higher emotions? All right. Can you pick up on the emotions of others? That's so important. And the truth is, if you are not in tune with your own emotions, you will not be able to be in tune with the emotions of others. All right. And it's true. And it's like, if you're around, let's just use your child for an example, and your child, you know something is wrong with your child, but your child is telling you everything's okay. You know your child because you could feel their emotions, you know them. So even though your child could be telling you everything's okay, you know that something is not okay. So are you able to pick up on the emotions of others? And if you could do that, then you are definitely in tune with your own emotions. And just because you can pick up on the emotions of others, it doesn't mean that you can transmute or you're in good alignment with your own emotions, but at least you have that empathetic gene in you that you could pick up on the emotions of others. And that is so important, because in a world that can lack empathy and compassion, we need people to be able to pick up on the emotions of others. We really do. All right. Are you a person that is emotionally numb? Do you not even feel emotions? Do you have a hard time feeling emotions? And because you can't feel emotions, you just mirror the emotions of the people around you? Is that how you operate? Is that your emotional body? So these are things to really think about, and we have to do the work to become better in our emotional layer. All right. So we talked about mental, we talked about physical, and we just finished talking about emotional. Now I'm going to talk about spiritual. All right. The spiritual layer is the one, all right, in spirit is how we are all connected. All right. So are you able to see the oneness in everything under the sun? Everything. Can you see the oneness between you and the butterfly, you and the sun, you and the moon, you and other humans, you and people that are so different from you? Can you see the oneness? Can you see the one spirit? Or can you not see that? And that everything everything's in compartments and departments in your mind, and nothing is oneness. All right. So it's being able to see the oneness in everything and how we're all connected in that one spirit. All right. That one spirit. And at the same time that you could see the oneness of the spirit, is also being able to allow individuality and accepting individuality. So accepting people that are different from us. All right. Accepting people who may believe differently. Is allowing them to be who they need to be at the time they need to be it. And sometimes this is our close family and friends. You have to allow people to be who they are, and you have to accept them, because you know that separation is an illusion, that truly we are one in spirit. And that every single person, and I'm talking on a human level, right? That every single person has the spark of the divine in them. And if you could see the spark of the divine in them, then that's what you're aiming for. And if you can't see that, then you keep working. You keep working in your emotional layer. You keep working in your physical layer. You keep working in your mental layer, so that you could get to that consciousness of the oneness, but understanding that in that oneness, we separate into individuals, and that's okay. And that's the freedom and the free will that we're all given. All right. So this was short and sweet. I just wanted to talk about doing the work, doing the work. All right. We cannot get out of here without doing the work in ourselves, because we're only going to come back lifetime after lifetime until we get it right. So while you're here, while you are in this beautiful earth body, right? And you are amongst other earth people that are reflecting how well you're doing in your lessons, hey, do the work, get it right, but see it as a journey, enjoy it. And I promise you, the fruit of your labor will be evident in your life. It will, I promise you. So that's all I have. This is about doing the work to become the best and highest versions of ourselves on all levels, because we're not one-dimensional. We're very multi-dimensional. We have all these dimensions to us. We're physical, we're mental, we're emotional, right? We have all these layers to us. And at the highest, we're spiritual and we're one, right? We're one. But we do break down into individuality. But it's so important that you do the work so that you don't have to keep coming back lifetime after lifetime, because everything you're doing here in this lifetime, remember, it's preparing you for the next lifetime. It's so that you can gain skills and spiritual gifts for the next lifetime. Maybe next lifetime, you don't even have to be in a heavy physical body. You could be out here as a spark of energy, helping your loved ones go left, go right. You're their guardian angels. You're helping them to navigate this earth classroom. All right. So do the work, guys. All right. This podcast is inspired by love, relationships, spirituality, justice, culture, family, children, finances, freedom, personal growth, energy and vibration, universal principles, health, education, masculine and feminine energy, music, and all things of the heart and soul. This is how we connect our hearts with our minds for perfect alignment. I appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you at the next episode. Take care.